This week, a Palestinian child was killed during a violent riot, Ali Abu Alaya. Now don't get me wrong, it's truly heartbreaking. As an Israeli Jew, it pains my heart to hear such news. But what's even more heartbreaking and shocking is that Palestinians use their children not only as human shields, but also for propaganda. Why do they bring their children to an organized violent riot where they throw stones at Israeli forces and roll burning tires toward them? Why do you think they do that? Would you ever imagine to bring your child to a violent riot where stones are being thrown with the aim of killing human beings? Wouldn't you want your child to be safe and protect them from anything? Then why do Palestinians bring their children to a war zone which they had created? Well, actually, there are two main reasons. Number one, they want to incite their children with hatred and violence against Israelis, so that when they grow up, they can continue this cycle of hate.
أنا عندي الإعجار أفضل.
والله شو والأهل الوالدة شو بيقولوا؟
شجعونا على هذا الشيء.
بس بتعرف إنه رمي الأحجار تقتل.
تقتل.
Number two, they bring children so they can film them for the Palestinian propaganda. They have been doing this for decades, bringing precious children to a battlefield. Listen, I was an IDF soldier. I am still serving on reserve duty. The last thing we are interested in is war and conflict. We want peace. War belongs in the past. But the Palestinian society, supported by its leaders, educate their next generation to hate Jews, to hate people like me. They teach them that Israel does not exist and that it's their task to free Palestine, or in other words, to destroy Israel. They don't want to live side by side next to Israel. They want to live instead of Israel. They don't use violence because this is their last resort and they have no hope. Not at all. They use violence because it's the one thing that they were taught. Their leaders are corrupt. They steal public money and put it inside their pockets. So the Palestinian public is frustrated because they don't see any improvement of their situation. And their leaders divert their frustration at Israel instead of them by simply lying to them. Listen, Israel treats Palestinians in Israeli hospitals. Over 100,000 Palestinians are working in Israel because they all know that they will get a higher salary under an Israeli boss. During coronavirus, Israel bought vaccines for Palestinians as well. Just this week, Israeli doctors entered the Gaza Strip to give free treatment to COVID-19 patients and train medical teams in Gaza. Let me tell you a small secret. Israel treats Palestinians better than their own leaders. So don't tell me that they use violence against Israel because Israel oppresses them. We don't oppress them, their leaders do. We want peace with our Palestinian neighbors. I don't hate them, I want to get along with them. It's my greatest dream. And I think it's outrageous that some of them are committing crimes against humanity by using their children for propaganda. Share this video. It's time to put an end to their lies.